channel. So I'm going to first talk about an IPO that's coming up, a hard rock company, and then I'm going to blabber on about E3Metals, because during doing these recordings, I just find E3Metals is a way better investment. Although there is risk to it, we'll get to that. So the IPO is Winsome Resources Limited. So you can actually buy into this company, and if 6 months time you lose your money, you can say you win some, you lose some. So the ticker is WR1 on the ASX. This company here is a gold company, and they had this lithium assets, and they said we'll spin this off in a separate company, and anyone who wants to buy in can buy in, and we'll use that money to drill out this area we got and find the lithium, build the thing, and then we'll sell it to people because everyone's going electric, etc. You get the point. So what's so good about this company in this area? So you might notice all these other companies there. They got a target of this much. And is lithium there? Yes, it probably is there because lithium is so abundant in the Earth's crust. Why would all these guys have lithium and then they don't have any lithium here? Like, tell me why. So they'll probably start here because there's a main road going through. If we're doing state, this is all hydroelectricity. So that's a big tick for all these guys here. For cost and also for cost, because you might get taxed on all the carbon you're putting in the atmosphere. That's the reason we're going to batteries. So, and you want to be a low cost producer because anyone getting lithium out of the ground now will make money, but in the future when the supply catches up to demand, it's going to be the low cost producers that win. If you're not a low cost producer, you will die. You'll go bankrupt. That's just what will happen. Money talks. Anyone heard that thing? Money talks? Maybe it's a video I've watched before. Anyway, so this guy knows what he's doing. He's done it before. Read more about him, Chris Evans, and you read about it and you say, yep, this guy knows what he's doing in the lithium space. He's done it before. Geologist here. Haven't really looked into this guy, but this guy's leading the way. So they'll raise, I think, 12 to 18 million dollars, and they'll spend that on drilling, exploration. The market cap will be about 27 million, or something like that, 22, 27. And that will probably go up to 40 million on the IPO, I say, judging by the price of other companies. But it could go down, but I expect that will go up. So we'll see what happens when it IPOs on the 25th of November, I think. So hydroelectricity, dense media separation, which is meant to be cheaper than other forms. They can do that according to what stone they have. You get the point. We all know we need lithium. Okay, so that's all I'll say about this guy, Winsome Resources. No special sauce. Pardon me, I just had a fur ball there. Okay, so now, so these guys will get spodumene out of the ground. They'll get 8 tons of spodumene out of the ground, and that 8 tons of spodumene will go to make 1 ton of lithium hydroxide. And that lithium hydroxide sells for $26,000. So if these guys were to build, these guys will just get the spodumene out of the ground, sell it to someone else who'll do the processing. But say that due to that all-in-one company, it's probably going to be about $5,000 of cost. Though E3Metals are claiming they'll do it for $3,500. So WR1 is getting out of hard rock in the ground at about 1%. And these guys, in the water they have that much percent. But it doesn't matter because the water just rushes through this thing, which has beads on it, which attract the lithium. The lithium gets stuck to the beads. So that low percentage doesn't mean a thing because the numbers are just way better on this company. So $3,500 they can do it for. All the other hard rock miners are probably going to do it at around $5,000. But you get this Ioneer company, they can do it for $1,500. But this company's already took off. I think it's Ioneer. So this company's already took off. So most of the money's being made on this company, in my opinion. These guys can do it $1,500 because they get a credit from boron as well. So their total cost is like $1,500, which makes them the lowest in the world by far. That's Ioneer. So back to E3Metals. So similarities between my best stock that I've had, Novonix, and E3Metals. So when I looked at Novonix, I just look at like plain and simple things. They're going to make $5,000 a ton on every ton of graphite they sold, is what they were saying. and they're going to make 100,000 tons. What I think it's 150,000 tons now, which is like $750 million profit a year. So when they were at $1, that their company was only $500 million. So it seemed if they could even do half of that, what they say they're going to do, it was a good investment. So you got 500. If they did a quarter of what they say they do, it was going to be a good investment. So now that it's gone crazy up, I'm not sure who's buying this company, but it seems like they still could go up because CATL is a $250 billion company. These guys 4.7 billion. So they do see overvalued in my opinion. Though I'm still not selling because I don't know. I just don't know. So anyway, back to E3Metals. So like I said, Novonix was there, and E3Metals. These guys are selling for $150 million market cap, and starting off they could make $400 million a year at the going lithium price. So they even make half that $400 million. They're going to make more than the market cap in a year, and that's why I like them. So all this area here, under here is a big water aquifer. ExxonMobil, a big company, found this oil in there. So there was like 1% oil. They pump out the oil, pump out the water, separate, get the oil out. But now they're not making money off the oil, and they're going to lithium. So these guys are pumping out the water and extracting the lithium from it. And they say they can do that at $3,500, and that will currently sell for 26,000. So say they make $20,000 per ton, and they're doing 20,000 tons a year, which they might do 20,000 tons, and they can build another plant, meaning they'll do 40,000 tons a year, which might mean $800 million profit at the current price. So I'm not saying they'll do that much, but if they even do like a little bit of that, this going to be a good investment, which is why I've invested in them. So this means nothing, this MPV. That just means for 20,000 tons per year, selling it at $15,000 a ton. So they're going to make money even at $15,000 a ton. It's now about $26,000 a ton, and they got low operating costs, which means these hard rock miners can't put them out of business if they can do it at this price. Other thing I mentioned is this isn't proven at scale yet. They're currently doing it in a lab, which it works in a lab, so they just got to scale it up, and that's the risk you take. Another good thing about this company, capital costs $602 million, but that's for 20,000 tons per year. So if they do 5,000 tons, it's going to be a quarter of that cost, or roughly about. So they don't have to raise heaps of money, diluting the share price, to get going. So if someone says, no, we're not going to loan you that money at this good rate, they say, okay, well, we'll just get a smaller amount, and then they can maybe save up for it. Like a young teenager buying his first house. So, yeah, they pump it out, they separate the lithium. Another thing about the company is, so this was all used for oil mines. They pumped out the oil, so every well, they can just get off the oil companies for free. Like the oil companies aren't using these wells anymore because they've shut down because they weren't a low cost producer of oil. So every one they can do saves them $2 million. So I think there's about 100 of them. So if they can do 50% of the 100, they can save like $100 million on the capex. So they can save a bit on the capex doing that, which is another bonus. Another thing, the green, there's wind power that can assist them, but the main power load will be gas. So this is them here, direct lithium extraction. So ion exchange. So yeah, they have these beads which have some sort of properties that lithium comes through, gets stuck on the beads, and then they wash the lithium off the beads, etc., etc. So these guys get rock out of the ground, put it through a thing to get lithium out of the rock. These guys are just getting lithium out of the water. So I say it's going to work. It hasn't worked at scale yet. These guys are probably the most ahead standard lithium. They're a $2 billion company. E3Metals, $150 million company. So these guys are probably standard lithium, a few years ahead of E3Metals. But to make money, you want to buy the small company that grows big, in my opinion. So that's why I've bought into E3Metals. $2.83. They're going down. That doesn't bother me because if this thing works, that's the whole gamble. It's going to shoot up a lot past there, in my opinion. So, back to E3Metals. What else can I say? Another barrier for entry for these guys. They've been doing this for 4.5 years, trying to work out the best way to do it. So currently now they're doing. Stop that a sec. So they do have 700 million tons inferred in this thing. So they've tested an area. So why is the lithium going to be different from here than there? It's probably not. So it's safe to say they'll probably have 7 million tons to start with, and that's only in this bit. And then they can open up this bit so they can even expand that, but that is still heaps and heaps and heaps of lithium. So what was I saying? Yeah, so these guys are building a pilot plant now. They're in the lab, seeing what works best in the lab before they spend a fair few million on a pilot plant. So they want to know the exact pilot plant they want to build before they build it. That's what they're studying now to see what they should build, which should be coming out soon, which I reckon they'll jump once they announce building it. Like Lake Resources is another one. They don't own the technology. They'll be pairing with Lilac, and Lilac got an investment from Bill Gates. Another thing, E3Metals, he declined to comment. He said it wasn't liberty to say about investments from big players, but he also said he didn't want to leave too many chips on the table, taking an offer early. So he didn't want to. So obviously this Chris Dornbell's guy, Dornboss, he's invested a lot of money into this himself, and he's currently been buying shares because he believes in technology. He's seen it work in the lab, so that's another bonus. So I bet some company will probably buy into this company. I don't think that's a what do you call it? It won't be a surprise if some other big company buys into this company, in my opinion. So that's all I can say. Like, don't worry about this. That's just for 20,000, and they can do 40,000, 60,000 tons just by doubling their plant. Meaning, if it works, they'll be making so much money. If this works at 20,000 tons, they'll be printing out money. They'll use that money to get to 40,000 tons and to 60,000 tons. So if this works, this company will go bananas. Potential to expand up to 150,000 tons. So say 150,000 tons. Say at the current lithium price in 2005, it's probably going to be high lithium prices as well. 150,000 times, even just say $15,000 profit a ton. $2.2 billion. So if they make a fraction of that, it's already worth buying now, in my opinion. So E3Metals, they just got to make it work at scale. I think it will work at scale. It's working in lab, so if something works in lab, there's going to be obviously issues doing it, getting it done, but eventually they'll figure it out and print money, in my opinion. I say in my opinion too many times, but yeah, whatever. So that's it for me. You can buy into WR1, average, probably will make money, and maybe they'll reign supreme if DLE doesn't work at scale for some reason. But my favorite pick is still E3Metals. And guess what? These guys, just because it's going down in price, the market gets it wrong. Let's look at Novonix. People, uneducated investors might have said here, oh, it's gone down. It's gone down. Like, it's not a good investment. And look what's happened. So I think it's going to probably come down from here. It's quite high. Probably shouldn't say that because idiots who just buy into this based on something else might say, "Oh no, it's high. Sell it." Anyway, so I think it's quite high at this number considering what I know about them. E3Metals, just my stock pick of the year. And also this could not work at scale and something unexpected could happen. So that's why you never put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe 10 to 20%, 20% in a company that you really, really believe in. So that might be this company here, E3Metals. If you don't have it, then you just don't have it.